Welcome to Kerah Speaks, where the truth runs deep. Faithful, healed, and free. Real talk, real growth. Let the Spirit speak, stories that set you free. Becoming who you're meant to be. Welcome to the conversation. Kerah Speaks.
Welcome back to Kerah Speaks. Before we get into today's episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are officially on the road to 500 subscribers, and I truly appreciate everybody who has been supporting, watching, sharing clips, and growing with this platform. This is the Calling series where we sit down with creators, artists, visionaries who are walking in purpose and building something meaningful through their gifts. Today's conversation is with someone who is an artist, and her artistry feels intentional, emotional, honest, and deeply rooted in self-expression. I'm joined by singer, songwriter, performer, and creative Delequa. What drew me to her is not just her music, but her presence, the way she performs, the way she carries herself artistically, and the emotion behind what she creates. She feels like someone who has truly studied the craft of performance and storytelling, and you can see that every single time she steps on the stage. In addition to her music and artistry, she is also a part of the Boyfriend's talk show and podcast, where she continues to show different layers of her personality, perspective, and voice. Today, we are talking about her artistry, identity, creativity, inspiration, and emotional honesty, and what it looks like to evolve publicly while staying connected to yourself. Everybody, please welcome to Kerah Speaks, Delequa. How are you?
Sweetheart, I am blessed. I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you for having me. And that introduction was so marvelous.
Thank you so much for being on the show. First of all, let me say this. I invite people on the show that I admire. And I saw your TikTok page. And when I saw you perform, I said, she's a star. She is a star. And I can tell you study the greats. And I know you love Beyonce. I know you love
Okay.
Beyonce. And I can tell because when you're on stage, you command the stage. Like your stage presence is A1, like you have been performing for years. So tell the people who you are that don't know you.
Okay. Thank you so much. You said it all, honestly. But as you said, my name is Delequa, darling. I am a singer, actress, podcaster, talk show host, proud Black trans woman of experience. I love people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't perfect, but music is my heart. And if I can touch the world through music or through artistry in whatever way I can, that's what I want to do. And I'm glad
Yeah.
that it's touched you because we just met via TikTok.
Yeah.
And so that lets me know by what you said today, that lets me know that people are paying attention. So thank you.
How long have you been doing music?
Woo, baby girl. I've been doing music, I would say, my entire life, but professionally, like recording and things like that, since about 2005, my senior year, is when I really started to take it serious. Because I knew once high school, I was like, man, I'm going to be in a big group and we're going to tour the world and all that kind of stuff. And child.
So you said senior year 2005. So child, we're the same age. I graduated in 2005.
Oh, are we 87 babies together?
I'm 86, baby.
Okay. Well,
yes.
but we're class of 2005.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you've been doing music for a long time. Okay. So what made you say, you know what, I'm going to take this serious? Like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to get on stage. Because you write music as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I write. I'm not a big writer. Like I couldn't, I don't think I could write a hit for somebody else. Now I'm not speaking down on myself, but I also like to keep it real. I have written a little bit. My song LYL, I pretty much wrote that with my brother William, but I wrote most of that.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other songs, I had writers with me,
Yeah.
and a team. And what made me take it serious was I've always wanted to take it serious, but actually losing out on money and seeing a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
thrive that I started with, and I'm just kind of still I had a stagnant moment. That made me say, girl, you got to get serious. You have to know the business. You have to handle it the right way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And coming out of school, I wanted to take it serious, but I think in my most recent years is when I started to really take it serious, especially business wise.
Yeah, yeah. What have you learned differently from when you started out to now? Now that you're starting to take it seriously.
Ownership is real. Ownership is very important. I take pride in owning my music. All of the music that you hear from me, I own. I put out. It's under my publishing and things like that. And the beautiful writers I work with, they connect with me, and I love being able to have control of my narrative. You know, people are gonna
Mm-hmm.
believe what they want to believe about you, but I still control my narrative. You know, people gonna, like I said, people are gonna say what they want. We know what the real is. If you follow me for real, you know what the real is.
Right, right. So I talked a little bit about your stage presence. Is that something that just comes naturally to you, or is it something that you had to develop through your confidence and your life experience?
That's a great question because being on stage is something that I've done my entire life, you know, from
Mm-hmm.
stage plays to growing up in the church and singing and
Mm-hmm.
gospel choir, and I'm a choir in school and getting solos in school and in church and things like that. And I remember when I was very young, my early years, my late father, God rest his soul,
Mm-hmm.
I remember him coaching me from the pews. And I used to sing this song in the garden, a go hymnal called "In the Garden."
Mm-hmm.
He would sit in the back in that back pew and coach me from the back of the church to
Yeah.
sing, and that's kind of like where my start came from. My mother, when I'm in the house singing, my mother come into my room talk about, I'm gonna be like Sissy Houston, and I'm gonna tell you, you off cue, or you off attitude. I said, girl, you ain't no sissy.
That's so funny. So, as an artist, who do you study? I know it's Beyonce, so you might as well go ahead and start talking about your girl because I know you love Beyonce down. Okay, what is it about Beyonce? Or what parts of Beyonce's artistry do you get inspired by?
Literally everything. I have been. Let me say this: I'm a Destiny's Child fan first,
Yes.
so I love each member, past and former and current.
Mhm.
I feel like with the artistry, Beyonce is very committed. She's her continuousness of not being bothered by people, not allowing things that have happened or any type of negativity be the focal point. Other people
Mhm.
can talk about that because that's what other people are going to do.
Mhm.
But she is very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent.
Mhm.
She's consistent, and she's been consistent all of these years. Her music brings me so much joy. I
Mhm.
think when I really, really knew it was going to be something for me, I Say My Name, all those songs, I was a fan then. When Survivor came out, I needed that. I was 15 and I wanted to unalive myself. You know, I was
Mm.
struggling with identity and stuff. And I will never forget how Survivor just pulled me out of such a dark place. The first time music officially did that for me. You know, gospel music was already doing that for me because I was raised in it. But
Mhm.
Survivor made me feel like I could be myself without any rules. You know,
Mm.
and understanding that you have the power. You make it what you want to make it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And speaking of identity, do you believe that being an artist, your artistry allowed you to fully become yourself?
Yes. Yes. My artistry is one of the big factors. I'll say that.
Mhm.
It's one of the big factors that allowed me to
Mhm.
become myself because, yeah, I did something over the weekend I can't wait. I can't really talk about it just yet, but
Okay.
I'm excited about it. Just stay tuned. But I think this is actually a pivotal moment for me. When you guys see what I'm talking about, you'll see this is a pivotal moment because I haven't been able to express myself this
Mm.
way through music the way I really wanted to tell this time. I think this is probably one of my biggest dreams come true with this one. I envisioned
Mm.
to life. So artistry is a big, big thing that's allowed me to cultivate Delequa and be myself. So I would say it's probably one of the top two things.
Got it. Got it. So, as a woman of the trans experience, before you transition, was your artistry different, or has being who you always meant to be allowed you to fully like expand your creativity? Who was Delacroix prior to transition?
Yes, I would say it has allowed me to expand the creativity because I started off in gospel music.
Okay.
Then, like I said, when in 2005, I was in a musical group. It was me and the two other great friends. Who I haven't really talked to lately, but I still love them to pieces. Shout out to them. We started groups. We wanted to be like Destiny's Child,
Mm-hmm.
and all the whole time, management telling me you can't do that. You can't be like Beyonce. You walk like Beyonce. I would never forget the time my mother. Like side note, it was when she had come out with Dangerously in Love, and it was
Mm-hmm.
2000. This was before I even graduated. My mother said to me, we were watching Beyonce on stage. She said, "That's how you walk across the stage. You can't be walking across the stage with that." And I just looked at her, and in the back of my mind, I had a cute little twinkle in my eye. But I remember we had management when we had the group in 2005. The group's name was Platinum, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we had management at the time, and someone I'm still good friends with. Actually, his name was George Burkett. Shout out George, hey! But he had pulled me to the side and said, "Listen, D, you are a star, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand everyone may not have the same drive you have, and it's not a bad thing. But I need you to understand you need to think about going solo." And I was like, "Here, I argued this man down for about 5 months about this. I promise you, I will argue him down about this." So I'm like, George, what are you talking about? He gonna go back and talk. I know he gonna comment on this, but I told him I said I'm not being solo. Like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't think of it at the time because I was like, maybe
Mm-hmm.
down the road, because Beyonce did a solo album, but this is I wasn't thinking that she was gonna be solo because 2005 Destiny's Child was Lose My Breath,
Yeah.
Girl, all that they hadn't announced their departure yet. But the album was out, Destiny Fulfilled, and my mom told me too. She said, "Destiny Fulfilled means done, right? You know that, right?"
Mm.
No, yeah, and it broke my heart. But no, like I said, he coached me to do that. And once
Mhm.
the group dismantled for many reasons, I started to realize, girl, get out there and try to do your thing. So I tried to do
Mhm.
my thing, and then I did an R&B album, and he
Okay.
managed me through that as well. He managed me through that through the beginning of my solo career. I mean, through actually a couple years ago, he was managed me as well. But he had a big fabulous album release party for me. I had an album. My first album was called Talking with a Stranger. That was in 2008, and it came out in June of 2008.
Mhm.
And I was going under my former name before I changed my name and
Mhm.
things like that. And I'm gonna say it was Derek Thompson. That was my name, and then changed my name. But I was going under singing R&B, and they're like, "You got to be more like Usher. You're trying to be too much like Beyonce." I said,
Mm.
everywhere I went, that's what they would say to me. And
Mhm.
I mean, I couldn't help it. I just That's how I expressed
Yeah.
myself. So then, struggling with identity, growing up in church, I felt like, okay, I need to get back to the Lord. So I love gospel music. Let me dress myself the right way. And
Mm.
I went through that struggle where I talked about my identity and things like that, and I denounced it. I even went on TV and did that promoting my album. I went on Atlanta Live,
Mm.
and I was on there with Miles and Delana Rutherford, who I'm still friends with on Facebook. And I be trolling him sometimes. And I shouldn't. And I'm gonna post this, and I hope he sees this because I do be trolling because he's a pastor. He always talk about the LGBT, and I'm just like, can we just love on
Mm.
But
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
moment got me on TV. The same episode that Tasha Cobbs was promoting her For Your Glory album with Break Every Chain. So at that time, it was huge for me as a gospel artist, and the album was called Born in the Old Shaped in the New. And I had my group of young people that would go with me and perform with me. We performed all over That album did good though. Gospel radio played the record. I actually just got a check the other week or a couple months ago from BMI for my gospel song. I was like, oh, well, okay.
Oh.
And it felt really good because I never had gotten paid from my pro. All these years I've had a pro and never got paid from it. So it just started with that gospel song. So I'm trying to get my pop songs to get there too, which they will be. But I did the gospel album. I know I'm going on and on.
No, it's good. Go ahead. I love this.
I did the gospel album, did that, and I will never forget. I stopped listening. I didn't stop, but during Beyonce's Sasha Fierce era, I didn't go to the I Am tour. That's probably the only tour I didn't go to, besides On the Run. I'm talking about her solo tours. That's the only tour I didn't go to, because that's when all those stupid rumors were coming around. Child, I hate that stuff. And I was, like I said, in church, and like I said, struggle with my identity, but I will never forget going to her Mrs. Carter show. And at that time, this is 2013, going into 2014, I was struggling with my identity again. And I love wearing a heel. Honey, I love a mean heel. You hear me? I love a mean heel and a mean brow, a mean lash, darling. Okay?
Yeah.
So I would dress a certain way. I was bald. I went bald, and I said, "Let me give this." Like before y'all, but like before when the Miss Lawrences and them was out there, I was doing the same thing they was doing in real time with them. You know,
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So I was doing the Saucy Santanas and all of that stuff back then.
Okay.
And I lived my life non-binary for a while because people from the church started calling my pastors and telling them I'm dressing like a woman and all this stuff. And I'm like, you just mad because I dress and look better than y'all.
Did you feel the pressure because the gospel songs were doing well? Did you feel the pressure to stay in that genre?
To be honest, I would still do another gospel album.
Okay.
That album was so amazing. And I actually, my apostle tells me all the time, who I haven't been in church in over a year, pray, I bless the Lord. But he always says to me, you can do another gospel album. You can do it here. And you know, to know that God loves me no matter who I am.
Yeah. Yes.
I will say this and put it on record. When I transitioned, mind you, this, like I said, after the music, I had LYLL, Grace Factor. Those songs were already out, you know, and I had decided to transition during the pandemic because I will never forget, it was March 15th, 2020. I was living in New Jersey. I was living with a roommate at the time. It was kind of like my little bootleg college years. That's my earlier 30s. And I can't believe that was 6 years ago. That's crazy. But I was sitting out on my little porch, honey, you know, doing what I do. And I heard it. I heard it come loud and clear. Don't go to church. I need you to start finding yourself. And this being here no more is not going to help you because you're going to stay confined into those rules. And I'm bigger than.
Yes.
And so then when I said, well, God, I know I want to transition. Like I knew it because I was meeting so many trans girls in Philly, and the God rest her soul, Samantha James, and I was seeing the T.S. Madison, Laverne Cox's, and all of them all over, you know, all over, just seeing trans girls start, you know, I'm just like, wow, you know, that's who I identify with the most. And I was nervous because I said, well, I know I'm non-binary. I know I don't identify with men. And I know I have gender dysphoria because I don't like the organs that I have, right? Well, my goal was to just be a non-binary person with a fabulous, you know, poom poom cat.
Okay.
So, yes, shout out to my sister Cece. My girl Cece, we call it our poom poom cat. So there might be a song. If y'all want the song, I'm gonna tell her.
Yeah.
You'll say, tell Cece to make that song with Delequa.
Yeah, we need the poom poom cat, please.
Okay. And so I had got this job, and I was like, if I get permanent with this job, let me see that. And then I saw the insurance. I said, well, let me see what this insurance does, honey. You know, because I want to get me a good job and get me a nice, you know, fabulous, you know, kitty cat. And I said, God, if it's meant to be, you will open the pathway and it will be made clear. Baby, that transition was made clear. There was complication. Well, there wasn't complication. There was a journey
Yeah.
through recovery, but
Yeah.
that's given.
Mm-hmm.
But to have it happen, it happened within 6 months. I had 2 surgeries in 6 months in
Oh
2020. And I
wow.
actually did that live and that content you guys see me constantly pushing out into the ether, honey. That was from 2020.
Oh
That on record. That was from 2020, pre-transition.
wow.
And I use that concept because, I don't have the luxury of thousands and billions of dollars to push me and put me on tour right now. So, I show people that of what I'm capable of. So that way when they call, I'm like, listen, this is what I can do. But,
Yeah.
all this stuff costs money.
Yes.
So, I did that and the transition it was smooth. And, life, again, life has its hardships.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never trade it for the world. I don't regret it one bit. I love who I am today.
Yeah, because it gave you clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of like you burst out of a box. Well, how did you choose the name Delequa?
I knew that was the next question. So I was working. My job. I had a coworker at the time. His name was Sumo. Shout out Sumo. Him and his wife, my girlie. That's my babe, my Aisha. Hey, girl. But I was going by my former name, Derek Thompson, and the LYL came out under that name. But I was thinking about just live your life. I'm telling everybody, live your life, be fabulous, be free. And he came in one morning. It was early in the morning in the classroom. And he goes, he couldn't get my name out. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you're just too fabulous for the name Derek. I said, what? He goes, and he's from like, I think Libya. I think he's from Libya. Or like he's from overseas. And he has a little bit of an accent. And he said to me, he said, I'm going to start calling you Madame Delequa. I said, what is a Delequa? Right? And he said, I don't know. I've heard it before. So I said, okay, well, let's look it up. I said, how would we spell this? And so I immediately thought about Beyonce.
Yeah. It gives that.
With
Yeah.
an accent over it. And I said, well, I could just spell it Delequ with a little apostrophe over the U and an A.
Yeah.
I Googled it. That didn't come up, right? I said, well, since I Googled it, that ain't come up. Well, there we go. That's how the name happened.
I love that because you are Delequa. It is very fabulous for you. I think what you said about when you were in the church, a lot of people will have things to say, especially trans people of trans experience. I'm sure people had things to say. Was it ever a time where you like, I don't really know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to transition, even though you knew you were suppressing Delequa the whole time. Was there ever a time you like, maybe I'm gonna change my mind?
Yes and no. I don't want to say I would change my mind. It was more of am I really going to go out here and do this? Because what will happen? What is the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Mine was the what if I'm going to go to hell? But then I thought to myself, but God said to me, I came to save your soul, not your flesh.
Hello.
Let me say that again for everybody that's listening and watching this. God came to save your soul, not your flesh.
Thank you.
So you can do whatever you want. This flesh, we put too much emphasis on sin. Honey, sin is literally error. It's literally mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? I think religion has put too much confines on people, which has stifled salvation. And hasn't allowed people to get out here and really get the true word out there. If we just walk in love, it's plain and simple. Walk in love.
Yes, absolutely. The sin is in unbelief in the creator, unbelief in yourself, honestly. And it's not about what's external with any of us. It's about what's in us. And when I see you perform, when I see you on social media, I feel your spirit. And I know that is a gift from on high, so if that was put into you, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, as long as you're sharing your gift with people. And that's what I really love about, because your energy is coming through the screen right now. That's why I say you're a star. I just love the way you perform. And the fact that you talk about Beyonce so much, that's when I first saw your performance. I was like, she performs like she's been studying Beyonce. Very much. And then when I saw you talk about Beyonce, I said, okay.
Yeah. Beehive all day. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, but even not just Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Tina Turner,
Yes. Yeah.
Janet Jackson,
Mhm.
these are Tony Braxton. These are people I've watched growing up, and I watched them
Legends.
declare the stage,
Yeah.
overtake the stage. Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, because my mother, she used to say to me, Luther and Whitney, they don't gotta dance and move and stuff. All they need is a mic and they sing. And I want you to use that voice. You ain't gonna just get up there and move. You gonna use that voice. And I do try to do that. I actually have a performance coming up in 2 weeks that I plan on all that shaking and gyrating. You're
Uh-huh.
going to get that in something else. But for this performance, I think this is going to be one that people are going to be like, oh wow, like she doesn't just do
Okay.
one thing.
Yeah. So when you're doing shows, do you come up with the concept? Do you already have a idea of how you want it to look? Are you completely hands on, or do you have a team who helps you?
Yeah, it depends on what the show is. For this one,
Hmm.
it's me, and I have two special guests as of right now that's going to be on the stage with me.
Hmm.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited. It's a milestone for me.
I
But it
love it.
depends on
Hmm.
what the show requires.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So since you're now taking it seriously, right? So now it's growing. How does it feel, or what's the biggest adjustment now that now you're on a podcast and you're getting back out there seriously? How does it feel to be seen publicly by people?
It's always a joy. I love
Yeah.
when people stop me and say, "Oh my gosh, you're Delequa. Hi."
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not an everyday thing, but it has happened over the years, and it's
Hmm.
happened even recently. And I'm honored when anybody just says that they saw my music or saw me online. And like I
Hmm.
said, as long as I'm touching people, I'm doing my job. If I get millions, which I would love, and I'm praying for it, I'm going to cherish that. But I'm going to
You
cherish
will.
100 just like I'm going to cherish a million.
Yes, 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 yes. So with your music, so you make pop music
Yeah.
predominantly right now, right? Okay. So how do you come up with a song? How does your creative process start?
I love this question because I get to brag. Well, not brag.
Come on,
I
Brad.
get to
Come
I
on.
get to talk about the many people that I know that's in
Yeah.
this industry.
Mhm.
Let's talk Julian King. Do you know who Julian King is?
I do not.
He's an amazing vocalist. Check out his
Okay.
music. Well,
I will.
that's like my brother. He's such a sweetheart. He helped write. So he wrote pretty much Soft and Feminine. Brought that to me.
Okay.
And then my sister Melodic, she helped me with that second verse, and we came together and we made this song happen with Go. My brother Naquan Wanye, y'all check him out. He's an R&B. The ladies, you're gonna love him. That's like my little brother. So y'all gonna
Hmm.
love him, honey. He's amazing. He's one of my main writers. He
Hmm.
wrote Go with me. He wrote New Me with me, and a couple of other songs that I have that of course are unreleased. We've always worked. That's one thing we've done. There's music that I have.
Hmm.
My brother William Howard, he's a gospel artist, and he is a true follower of God.
Mm.
Many, and I'm gonna say it on record. People from that world would love to, claw him because he still talks to me, but y'all can't do that because God picked him. Ha ha.
Hello.
God picked him to be my brother. Ha ha. So he's not leaving me alone. I'm not leaving him alone. He
Hmm.
don't got to do what I do, and I don't got to do what he do.
Right.
His salvation ain't got nothing to do with mine. His mind is made up, and so is mine about who I am, and
Hmm.
he's made about who he is. And but he writes with me. I love working with. I wouldn't mind working with new people.
Hmm.
Just depends. So we'll see what the future holds when it comes to that. But right now, I love working with the team because it cultivates a sound. It makes the music even
Hmm.
more substance.
Yeah, yeah. So what goes through your mind when you're performing? When you get ready to get on that stage and you are operating fully in your purpose, what are you thinking about? I always wonder that with artists who are standing on that stage and looking out in the crowd, like, do y'all just have tunnel vision or do y'all just be thinking about, okay, I got to do this and this? What happens on that stage?
Definitely tunnel vision in a way, but
Okay.
You said something about how you were feeling my spirit through the end through the camera and things,
Yeah.
and how you saw it when you watched my videos and things. That's what I look for. I want, because I'm in the flesh, I want that to permeate through the
Mm.
audience. I want that love. I want you to feel healed. I want you to feel, give you something tangible to take with you. That when hardships hit you or something comes and slaps you
Yeah.
upside the head, you can say, I was around Delequa and she made me feel like empowered, and whatever it was that she's got, she's letting me know, because I've been through some stuff, some hell,
Mm.
even recent. And no matter what, I can't be knocked down. You know, I have a go. I have breath in my body. So I
Hello.
want people to realize, as long as you have breath in your body, because the only thing that can stop that is the Most High. Our Creator is the
Yes.
only one who can stop your breath. I don't care if someone's got their hands around your neck trying to unalive you. If the Lord says no, baby, it's a no.
That's right. That's right. So I know that's what you want your audience to feel when they walk
Yes,
away from a show, from a
yes,
Delacroix
empowered.
show.
Yeah,
Yes.
empowered.
Your music.
Innate empowered.
Mhm. Your music is very empowering. When I listen to it, I'm like, this is really uplifting. Like, it's something that honestly I can go for a run for it. I feel like I can run 3, 4, 5 miles listening to your music.
I
and,
love
and that's
that.
what I really love, which is really why I wanted to talk to you. 'Cause I'm just like, where does that come from? Like, what is that spirit to perform and sing such uplifting songs? Considering what you have gone through in your life, where do you pull from?
I take it back to Survivor. I
Mhm.
remember just, I remember hearing, I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. And at that time, they had the group changes, and a
Mhm.
lot of people were just hating on them, and hated on Beyonce, like specifically. And I've seen this her whole career. And I've been hated on. I've been the other, you know? And so,
Mhm.
I know that when people come to me, and especially when people tell me that they're encouraged and inspired, I know
Mhm.
that it's my purpose, you know.
Mhm.
And it's hard. You take that energy of things that you go through. Energy is real, right? So
Mhm.
how you receive it and how you put it back out is important. So I like to say, when things are negative, if something's on my mind or heavy and I'm going through it, that's the time you want to try to maybe go in the studio. That's the time that you want to write it down and try to figure out how you can incorporate that into even a visual project that can maybe bless the people. So yeah, it can
Mhm.
come from the personal struggles and the wanting to knowing your purpose, you know?
Yes, yes, absolutely. How has finally, stepped into or operating in your purpose, how has that changed you from the Delacroix now to the Delacroix maybe in 2005?
Yeah, I would say I'm not as naive. I stand my
Mm.
ground a lot more, which has also caused me to lose a lot of friends. You know, a lot of
Mm.
people, you know, that I mean, even the closest of friends I've had. And
Yeah.
I love them to pieces. I've talked my little shit on some of the podcasts, and hey, I mean, that's what I did. I ain't gonna apologize for it, but I love them.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I love my people who were friends, who were ex friends, who I don't talk to as much anymore. You
Mhm.
know, you know, I take that into consideration all the time. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's made me a stronger person, and allows
Mhm.
me to fully be Delacroix.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, stepping in, so you create music and you're also on this podcast, the Boyfriends Podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because y'all look like y'all be having a time on there.
We were just filming yesterday. Jared, I met Jared, who is the leader, who is our leader. He's our fearless leader, if you ask
Mhm.
me. I met him. I also do philanthropy work with the DVLF
Okay.
in Philadelphia, where we give grants to LGBT nonprofits, 501(c)(3)s, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I'm on a board that we decide who we're going to give the coin to, that the city of Philadelphia is giving to the
Oh,
community of LGBT.
wow. That's beautiful.
I
Girl,
don't.
you do everything.
Yeah, I do. I try not to, and see, that's the thing. That's why when people say things about me, I'm just like, none of y'all even know. And a lot of people in Philadelphia, a lot of these events that they have that they don't call Delacroix for, she's probably one of the reasons you're getting some of that money that you're using for it. But that's okay, because to keep it real, that's not why I do it, for you to put me on the stage. I don't need you for that. I don't need people to do that for me. You can put whoever you want on that stage, because Delequa is supposed to still be Delequa. But I met Jared, back to what you were asked. I had met Jared through through that. Every year they have a party called the Toy Party, which is a beautiful party. It's open to the public, where people come and they gather, give the awards out and things like that to the recipients. And my boyfriend and I needed a picture taken, and he was sitting at the table next to us. I said, just randomly, "Can you take a picture for us?" He was like, "Yeah, I'll take a picture." Took our picture. And some months later, he had reached out to me, said he was working on something. He would like to see if I would like to be a part of it. And it happened in 2024. And I joined it. And in 2025, we did it. And that was my first season with him. And he said he ain't firing me. So I'm with it.
I really love y'all. I love y'all set. I love the chemistry that you guys had. I went in and I watched some clips, because that was my first time seeing when you posted it. So I went and watched some clips. I'm like, oh, they're going to be the next big thing. It's going to be the next big thing. I really enjoyed the clips that I did see, and I think you fit in really good with them, for sure.
Yes, sure. And Biddy B, y'all, Biddy B is so
hilarious.
Isn't Biddy B hilarious?
Hilarious.
Cracking up. Like off camera, I'm telling you, Biddy, I'm just that, but he is such a sweet soul. That platform for me is honestly amazing. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me show you who's trying to bug me.
That's all right, girl. Go ahead.
Look who's trying to bug me. Why don't you say hi? Say hi to the people.
Oh, you're so cute.
But then Jay just came up. She's still trying to get up. But Jay just came on this year. So he came on with us this year, and he's a great addition. Being a part of the podcast is so amazing. We have big plans. Please keep sharing. New episodes are coming. Please keep sharing. And I'm just excited. I love working with them.
Yes, please gonna share the Boyfriends podcast. Y'all go ahead and watch that. It's hilarious. Wonderful people on that show from what I've seen, the few episodes. So what else are you well, I know you say you're not gonna reveal what you got coming up, but what other things do you do?
I act. Acting is something I love. I have been getting scripts on my desk. Unfortunately, I can't do them all. But I've had scripts on my desk, and that was on my vision board actually, for more scripts on my desk, and that happened this year. There's actually some things I'm working on with a few of my director friends. There's a couple of things I want to do. There's a movie I want to do, and I don't want to say too much because people will watch your stuff and then turn around and take your idea. So, but there is I want to dive deep into our trans history, and I want to do a movie in regards to some of our history makers and our movers and shakers from the trans community. And
more like a documentary?
Yeah, or a biopic. Okay. I'd love to play. There's someone that I want to play because the story is just, I posted it too one time, but our story is just so magnificent. And it's from the early years. And we think that trans people haven't been here, but trans people have been here forever. We've been here since the dawning of time.
in every culture.
Yes. So acting and like I said, and the philanthropy, of course, but just everything I can do and put my mind to and my hands to do, I will do.
Yeah. What do you think is a misconception about Delequa that you want to clear up right now?
Misconception.
Or do you even care?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, because a lot of people, I think people take my kindness for weakness. And I think when people see me, they expect something and they think that they're going to be able to walk all over me. And then I'm going to let you know, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. No. You're not going to play me. You're not going to turn around and use me to gain more followers or gain this and gain that, because you see, I didn't buy my followers. I don't buy them. There's people that actually comment, actually pay attention. That's why I said I'm cool with having a little bit of 5,000, because you'll see people with 32,000 followers and they're getting the same amount of views and likes as me. And I'm sitting back like,
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's that, and there's no shade. There's no shade.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I've seen people literally. I've seen it where people will follow me, and then 2 weeks later, in the minute nobody that we would have no mutuals. 2 weeks later, all these people that are my friends, all of a sudden were mutuals. I'm just like, y'all are something. But okay.
How do you navigate being in this business? Because I would imagine that it's probably hard to build solid friendships.
It is the people I work. Most of the people I work with, I've worked with them for almost 10 plus years. Most
Okay.
of them, yeah. It is hard to build relationships because people are so brainwashed by social media and how things are today, and I don't want to be brainwashed. I don't ever want to be caught into the system. That's another thing I respect about Beyonce. She's never caught into the system. And people talk about she don't got the numbers that Drake and Taylor Swift go. Yeah, well, theirs are inflated and hers aren't. Oops.
Y'all get Delequa, don't get me, okay?
I said what I said. Them babies can come at me all they want, but they are all them. Both of them have cited Beyonce as someone they look up to. So let's not play.
That's right, true. Oh my goodness. If your younger self could see Delequa today and see who you're becoming right now, what do you think she would say?
Bitch, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You went through some shit
Mm.
to get there. You may have not been where you thought you should have been in the beginning, but guess what? The one thing is, it's okay, because when it does hit, because it's time, you were promised it, so it has to happen. So the fact that it hasn't happened the way you thought it should yet means that happening is still supposed to come, and when it comes, baby girl, you're gonna get it.
Mm. Mm. What truth are you learning today to finally embrace about yourself?
Speak my mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the filter. Sometimes it carries on. Sometimes, but I don't move without intention, and I don't move maliciously. I don't care. You
Mhm.
can someone can try to tell you that I did, but no, I move away. I move how people move. My intentions are always good. If you doing
Mhm.
some shit, then that's on you. I ain't got time for it. I don't have time for it. I don't have time to play silly reindeer games, like I like to say. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we're gonna move with honesty and dignity. Like if I'm telling you, like, same thing with friends. I've noticed some of my friends over the past couple of years that I would tell them my business, but they weren't telling me theirs. They were only telling me parts of their
Ah.
business. They'll tell me, look, and
Mhm.
then turn around and try to talk about loyalty and shit to me. When I'm sitting here like, but how come I'm finding out something from somebody up the street that you didn't even know I knew you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you say to somebody who is afraid? What would you say to some young trans woman or trans man, even, or anybody who may be questioning themselves and who's afraid to step into the identity that they fully feel that they are? What would you say to them?
This is a layered answer
Hmm.
because although I am deconstructing from religion, I will
Hmm.
never leave God.
Okay, that's
The
right.
creator can never leave the creator. You gotta have God is you on the inside of you.
Hmm.
So find you on the inside of you, garner that. Be confident in every step of it. I don't care what the next Susie, Tom, Dick, or Harry is doing. You do you. Like, I'm not gonna ever not do me. People can say, "Oh, that ain't enough." I'm not for you. Then, if it's not enough, then I'm not for you. Or if it's too
Mm.
much, then I'm not for you. Because we're all here for a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm not here to touch all billion people that's in this world. If I did, it'd be beautiful. Even Michael Jackson didn't touch all billion people. Beyonce has it. Even Jesus didn't touch every single person in the world
True. True.
when Jesus was living. So,
True.
I mean, like, do you and know your purpose and live in that and be bold in it.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned God because a lot of people in the LGBTQA plus community, a lot of them did start in the church, and the church browbeats them so much to the point where a lot of people, they deconstruct religion and then they just stop believing because the church was not a safe space. And you have to remember, as believers, like he knew who you were when he created you. He knew exactly who you was going to be. He knew you were going to be Delequa. It didn't mean he stopped blessing you and stopped giving you. You still have, you still are exactly who he made you to be in the beginning. So I love that you said that.
I had to, because I know I post, and I haven't done any much interviews lately, and I know I posted, and I will ask questions, and I share a lot of things that talk about deconstructing, and they question religion, but nothing can ever separate me from the love of Christ, and the love of God, and God is the one who keeps me. That's why I don't mind, and yeah, because at the end of the day, God is still God. Before anything else, there was a creator, so there's no way to get away from it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Delequa, thank you so much for coming on the show. Tell people where they can find you, what you got coming up next that we can look forward to.
Thank you for having me, beautiful. You are such a beautiful soul. I adore you. This was such a beautiful, beautiful time with you, and I'm honored. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram. Instagram is at I am Delequa, and TikTok is official Delequa. But just look up my name, Delequ with apostrophe over the U. A.
Y'all see why I love her. Y'all see why she had to come on to the Calling series. Delequa and everyone else who I added to the show. I really love people personality who are driven, like who has really high energy, where you can see that they are actually going for something. It's about purpose, and it's about operating in that. It's about people who, move with intention. Because you talked about intentionality earlier. And I do everything with intention. And I don't feel like we should be living this life just surface level, doing anything surface level. We should always be making sure that we're doing things, we're moving in faith, moving in our obedience, and doing things that bring us joy and make us happy. And who you are and the music that you create, it encompasses all of that. So I want you to keep going. I'm gonna be rooting for you. I see the best for you. Like I said, you are a star. I wish you the best in everything that you got going on, even your future endeavors. And I hope the Boyfriends podcast grows and your pop music grows and just everything. I love everything about you, Delequa. I really do. I really do.
We got to do this again. We got to do this again.
Yes, I would love to. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you all for watching or listening. If you are listening to Kerah Speaks, the podcast, make sure you follow, leave me a comment. Go to kerahspeaks.com, where I have my official merch, as well as my book, Healing Cost Me Everything. Okay, if you ever lost anything, a friendship, yourself, whatever. This is the book I wrote after I finished therapy. So if you are also in that season of your life, go ahead and check that book out. And again, thank you, Delequa, for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And make sure y'all follow her, okay? I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Follow this podcast and connect with me at kerahspeaks.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kerah Speaks.